Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1177. Can't read. Damn rabbit eating my lettuce. There's a rabbit in my garden eating my lettuce. Now I've got to put up a rabbit fence in my garden. Son of a bitch. Hey, happy Bowman release day. I've had Bowman for a couple days, got my 10 blasters in the other day. They are all list. Yes, marigolds. We do plant marigolds. I failed to plant marigolds because usually I get them with, normally I don't plant this early, but I planted lettuce, celery, and peas. But yes, normally I do marigolds. And it did actually from my old house, marigolds actually did keep, I don't know if marigolds kept them away, but rabbits would stay away from my garden, just didn't come to my garden. But I haven't planted lettuce in a while either. So yes, that's a good, I will have to get some, I didn't even think of getting marigolds for lettuce, and I don't know, my bad. So Bowman, check out my eBay store. We'll get that rolling here. 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more, 25% off. Sales are humming along. How about Brock Wilken? Who you're looking for, Bowman? Dylan Cruz, Walker Jenkins, Arjun Namala, Brock Wilken. Those are some hot prospects in this year's Bowman, releasing today. If you ordered blasters from Walmart.com, you probably already received them, like I did. Brock Wilken, last night I ran 4 auctions from Bowman. James Wood Green, Prospect Power Up. I think that sold for $15. Termar Johnson, Top Prospects Green, sold for like $8 or $9. Brock Wilken Refractor, non-auto, sold for over $60 for just a base chrome refractor. $60. I think it sold for $61. The Green Grass Auto, Brock Wilken, sold for $200. The hell did it end up selling for? $260 something. Let me see. $292 on the Brock Wilken Green Grass Auto. So the 2 Brock Wilken cards grossed for more than I paid for the 10 blaster boxes. So $292 on the Green Grass Auto, $61 on the base refractor. And of course, singles are selling. Has to load down because I've sold a ton. And all the big, I still have the red. I've got an offer on my Camilo Diaz red non-auto numbered out of 5. That I just may take. It's a solid offer. It's a little lower than what I think reds should sell for, but what the hell do I know? The other auto I pulled, I think I dropped the price, and it's still sitting. I've got a couple lower autos or lower offers on them. But I may drop the price again because obviously it's been a full day now, and I haven't had a higher offer come through yet. So, and that's the name of the game when it comes to Bowman at release. It's in and out, in and out, in and out. So I'll probably end up taking that offer on the red of 5. There's a couple other things that I had at release day prices with no bites. Probably drop prices on some other stuff as well before my hobby boxes come in today. I did check the tracking. I've got 3 hobby boxes coming from Tops, and they have made their way to the destination sort facility in Madison, Wisconsin. FedEx says delivery date today, so hopefully they get on a delivery truck and are on my doorstep today. Hey, speaking of purchases, and I've been saying I've just got so much inventory, I don't need to buy any inventory. I've got the premier card shows in Loves Park at the Indoor Sports Center this Saturday. Not going to buy. That's the plan. Guess what I did yesterday? Another Goodwill pallet. Boom! So I don't even look at what's they sprinkle stuff on top. It's typically not even like the top 10 best things that are in the palette. So, but sometimes it gives you a little glance into what could be in there. Usually if it's like this particular palette has a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, the black box Billy Ripken, which is basically a dollar card. My fear is, okay, it could be a lot of junk wax. Kind of look at the boxes that are on the top. Not great pictures with this one. So I'm not too confident, but even so, it's still fun. It's it even though as much as I love Bowman, you get two hobby boxes, roughly 2 hobby boxes for the price of a Goodwill palette. I have more fun with the Goodwill palette. You just never know what could be in the Goodwill palette. You kind of have a feeling what's going to be in 2 hobby boxes of Bowman, unless you hit like the case hit, and then that's really exciting. But so I will actually pick that up tomorrow because today's Bowman Day, part 2. So it is ready. The palette's ready, but today is my Bowman Day. So I will be ripping and flipping Bowman later today. I've got a bunch of shipping still. New product release weeks are always busy with shipping. I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so I've got to cram a lot of work in to the next 3 business days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with Bowman, a palette, a card show, and then going home to see Mom for Mother's Day. So it's going to be a crazy next couple days around here. If you missed it yesterday, I'm off coffee. I did finally tried the mushroom coffee. All right, I'm going to give you my first review. Day 1, Rise, RYZE mushroom coffee. They're not paying me, so I shouldn't spell it out for you. Rise mushroom coffee. I'm paying. There's a lot of money for this fucking coffee. It's like $40 for this small little pack. I think it says like 30 servings, but I do 2 servings. You know, I do the 2 tablespoons. At least I did yesterday, and I will today. So first thoughts. It's a lot more difficult to make than throwing it in the coffee maker. You know, water, coffee, turn on, pour. That's it. That's what I like, the simplicity of a coffee maker. So so with the mushroom coffee, it's 2 tablespoons, put it in your mug. And I've got to have hot water. I'm like, how the hell do I couldn't find the tea kettle thing. Forgot to ask my wife last night where it went. We might have thrown it away because it was getting a lot of like crusties at the bottom. And I'll just microwave water. So took a coffee cup. Well, it's like 1.5 coffee cups to fill my mug. And I didn't know, like, how long do you microwave water? So I had to figure that out. I had to get a tablespoon to get the mushroom coffee out, make sure I get the right measurements. You got to mix it. It's like instant coffee, which is less instant than actually brewing coffee in a pot. So that was the process. It was a little more in depth than just turning the coffee pot on. First drink, first sip. It's like, that's different. That's the only thing I could think of. It's different. It's not bad. We're talking mushroom coffee. Mushroom coffee has a lot of health benefits. Mikey says, I'll address Mikey's comment here. He said, you failed doctor's orders by drinking coffee. You're going to pass out live on air. Couple things. Doctor didn't tell me to quit drinking. This is my own thing. If I told him I drank a pot a day, he would probably the doctor would probably say, that's a bit too much. You probably shouldn't drink a pot a day. Mushroom coffee is also, it's not real coffee. I think there's some coffee in it, but it has health benefits. Like, well, what health benefits does it have? Let's just type in Rise mushroom coffee benefits. So the first drink was like that's different was the only thing I could think of. Rise mushroom coffee claims that its coffee has the following benefits: improved immunity. Medicinal mushrooms contain many antioxidants that can help boost your immune system and fight off infections and harmful bacteria. Improved focus. Mushroom coffee can help improve your focus and is beneficial for brain health. Increased energy levels. Mushroom coffee can increase your energy levels without the jitters. Calm digestion. Mushroom coffee is a low acidity coffee alternative that can help your digestion calm. And improved organ health. Mushroom coffee is rich in antioxidants and essential vitamins, which can help improve your organ health. Anti-aging properties, better sleep, improved memory, reduced inflammation, all benefits claimed by the mushroom coffeeists. So first thought, different. Different isn't bad. Different isn't good in this scenario. Just different. I am not a coffee snob. I remember the first, I think I shared this story. One of the first times my wife and I went out with like her family friends, and they are very eccentric. They have a lot of money and they have like the best things, like luxury items, like things that I've never heard of. They're like, well, this is a blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's like 100 times the value of a normal thing. So they're like, oh, you like coffee? And I'm like, yeah, I love coffee. Like, are you a coffee snob? I'm like, yeah, I'm a coffee snob. They're like, well, what's your favorite coffee? And I'm like, Dunkin'. And I think back and I'm like, why did I say that? I'm a coffee snob. I drink Dunkin'. Yeah, he's a hillbilly. So, and I do prefer Dunkin'. So I think if your favorite coffee is Dunkin' or Trader Joe's, I don't think you can necessarily call yourself a coffee snob. So I am not a coffee snob. Like I don't get into like every once in a while I'll drink like the boutique coffees. If I see it, I'll pick one up just to try it. But it's not like my everyday till now has been Dunkin', Trader Joe's. That's really it. And then Door County, I'll get the Door County every once in a while. So I'm not a coffee snob. What I've noticed is I need coffee, which is bad. That's an addiction. And I think this is the big, so the taste doesn't bother me. Like the taste of mushroom coffee, it's different. I think if you are a coffee snob, you're not going to like it initially. My wife, as I was telling my wife this last night, she was saying, well, you're probably just so used to regular coffee. And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing. So the one thing that I immediately noticed, well, after I drink, so that was, the taste is different. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just a different tasting coffee, but I would say like, what's your thoughts on Dunkin'? I wouldn't say it's different. I would just say, well, it's not good. It's not bad. It's coffee. That's kind of similar, but it doesn't taste like regular coffee. All right. So I would compare it to like a craft coffee, like in craft beer. My dad, rest in peace, my dad was a light beer drinking son of a gun, and Busch Light. Busch. Hey, speaking of Busch, how about Michael Busch last night? Cubs win, bottom of the ninth. Michael Busch, home run. Go Cubs. Fly the W. So my dad, Busch Light, all he drank his entire life was like cheap light beer. So when we would go out, like here in Madison, it's like craft beer central. And so we went to a restaurant, and we went to oh fuck, what's the name of the? It's like a microbrewery, Vintage on Whitney Way here in Madison. And they don't have Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, Busch Light. They have their own beer that they make. So waitress comes over and well, can I get you started with something to drink? And I'm like, I'll have they're like, you go first, because they didn't know what to order. I'm like, I'll have the bee's knees, I think is their like honey ale. I'll have the bee's knees. And I don't know if my mom ordered anything. And my dad's like, you have anything that tastes like Busch Light? And I'm like, oh God, Dad. So the waitress was a little baffled by that question. It's like, well, and she's like, this is probably the closest that we would compare to like a Bud Light, Busch Light. And he didn't like it. He had to have Busch Light. So that's kind of how it is with the coffee. I know if my dad drank the same type of Folgers his entire life, probably. And if he tried a mush, he'd, oh, this is terrible. Just because it doesn't matter if it's terrible or not. He's just so used to drinking Folgers or whatever, name your flavor. So it is different. So the one thing that I noticed, so the taste is different, but that's not necessarily bad. The one thing that I did notice right away. So I have my mug that you see. This is a water bottle, but normally I have my coffee mug in the morning. And when I get to the bottom, I'm like jonesing for the next fill up. And so I'm just drinking this one mug of mushroom coffee that I started yesterday, have some more today. And so I was shipping in the other room, and I'm getting down to the end of my mug, and I'm like, oh man, and I can't have any more. Now I could go brew a pot and have, but I'm policing myself. Healthier Bo. And I'm like, damn it. I'm out of coffee. But this is the difference. Normally, under real coffee circumstances, I would chug that last drop and I'd race upstairs. Okay, I wouldn't literally race upstairs, but I would be jonesing to get the next mug filled. I need more coffee. And I do this until noon. I drink until the pot's gone. That's the one thing I noticed with mushroom coffee. I didn't have that feeling. I did initially as I was getting toward the bottom of the mug, and I'm like, damn, I really want another one. And then I finished, and I do some more shipping, and all of a sudden I realized I don't have that craving like instantly. I didn't think that would happen. I thought I would have because I'm so hooked on coffee. I thought I would have that. I would have some wean myself off of it. I'd still have those cravings, and I didn't. And I didn't crave caffeine at all the rest of the day. So mushroom coffee, we'll see. As far as was I less tired yesterday? I don't know. I vary from day to day, and I didn't get great sleep the night before. So I don't know if I was less tired. I mean, I ran to Walmart, and I remember driving back from Walmart. I'm like, man, I'm really tired. And I laid on the couch at 5:00, which I don't normally do. So I was still kind of tired, but I mean, it's also day one. So am I going to see instantaneous results? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. So we'll see. But drinking I'm going to start my day with a bottle of water, and then I'll go through the arduous task of making my mushroom coffee. So that's my review of the mushroom coffee. So thank you to Victor, who has been drinking mushroom coffee and said it's awesome. And so that kind of like that made me like, okay, because I'd already bought it. Like I had it. I just, it sat for 2 weeks or so. But then the doctor's visit was like, okay, yeah, I should probably make some changes to my diet, cut out the pot of coffee every morning, no more fast food. And I don't want to cut out completely, all of this crap, but I do need to calm it down. It's, during the week, do I need to drink a few beers at night? No. If there's nothing in the fridge, do I need to go to McDonald's? No. Do I need to drink pop? No. So frozen pizza. Oh, so I went to the grocery store and I bought like fresh stuff. Funny thing is, I was when my wife came home, she's like, "Oh, how's your day?" And I'm like, "Da da da." I'm like, "Oh, I got some groceries," and she's like, "Oh, so did I." And I'm like, "Oh," because usually we get like the same stuff. I'm like, "Well, what'd you get?" So, like the thing she got was, I think she got bananas. I also got bananas. Get that potassium rush. So, but when I went, I spent a lot more time in the produce section than I normally do. I picked up some kiwi fruit, bananas, tomatoes, avocados. Apparently, I'm going to have to pick up some lettuce because the rabbit's eating mine out in the garden. And stayed out of the freezer aisles. And I was back in the fresh in the meat section. And you know what I really love, and I never have it. Like never, and that's probably why I love it so much. If I had it, if I put it in the rotation, it wouldn't be as good to me as what it is right now. Ahi tuna steaks. So I'm back in the meat section and they've got ahi tuna steaks and they're like reduced price. I'm like, oh shit, like $6 for 2 fillets. Like, that's a damn good deal. Picked some of that up. Told my wife. She's like, well, I don't know how to fix it. And I'm like, well, Google. Like here's the thing. My wife doesn't trust me in the kitchen. The grill, go for it. I am the grill master. I am the grill master of my domain. But you got to keep me out of the kitchen. My wife will not let me cook in the kitchen. So, and I'll like try recipes and she just takes over. She has to be in control of the kitchen. And I'm okay with that. So she's like, I don't know how to make ahi tuna steaks. And I'm like, well, it's pretty easy. Like I Googled it and you like put it in, you do some mixing with like soy sauce and some other stuff. And then you put it on a frying pan for 6 minutes. Probably put it on the grill also. And she's like, or I could make this tuna salad, like ahi tuna salad, which she did. And it's fucking awesome. So we only did it with one ahi tuna steak. And I've got one left. And it's ahi tuna, avocado, tomato, and some like sesame oil. The little flakes that are on top of burger buns. What the hell are those called? Sesame seeds and soy sauce mixed up. And then you like, it's almost like a salsa. And so you take a tortilla chip and put a little spoon it on the tortilla chip. Oh, fuck, man, it's good. That's F-bomb worthy. F-bomb worthy. It's an A+ dish. Fucking awesome. So she's like, are you going to want anything for dinner? I'm like, this is pretty filling. I may want something, but not like dinner. And she's like, well, I can make another. And I'm like, no, that's going to be too much. I'm like, well, are you going to eat more? And she's like, no, I'm not going to eat more. I'm like, well, it's too much for me. So she's like, well, I can make it again tomorrow. I'm like, yes. So that was my trip to the grocery store. Red Light thinks it sounds now. Oh, it's so good. It tastes so good, as Mr. Food would say. I think we did confirm that's Mr. Food, right? Tastes so good. So it's Bowman Day. It's trash day. I've got my trash out at the curb. We had a lot of rain yesterday. It stormed. Like we had like big storms all day. Like I was losing focus yesterday morning because it was so dark. Now it's sunny. It's pleasant outside. Pleasant. It's very pleasant outside. But we got storms in the morning. Storms. I did get out for a walk though. We got storms early in the morning, like this time yesterday, 8 o'clock. And then it just kind of was cloudy for during the day. After I got back from the grocery store, I'm like, okay, the sidewalks are dry. It's cloudy. Let's go for a walk. Took Biscuit for a walk. We get like halfway into our walk and it starts raining, like a light rain. But a half an hour after we got finished with our walk, it just unleashed thunder, hard rain, and then it rained hard again, I think last night. So a lot of rain. My grass is I've been fired from mowing. So the lawn mowing company comes tomorrow, hopefully, because we look like the people that don't take care of their yards. Again, it's only been a week. Fucking grass, man. It's on steroids. So hopefully my garden, well, minus the lettuce that the rabbit had for breakfast this morning, will grow. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. He hopes the pallet is full of big cards. Yes, in case you missed it, I did buy another Goodwill pallet. I'll be picking it up tomorrow. So we'll see. There was a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie on the front, on the top, some Peyton cards. It was not a rookie card. It's the archives version. A lot of people saw that in the picture I tweeted last night. But again, usually the best stuff is not shown. Usually the best stuff is like hidden in a box in the bottom of the pallet. So we shall see. And we've been on a NASCAR dry spell. Like there was a time where it was like every freaking pallet had binders upon binders of NASCAR that now are in Kyle's possession. But the last several pallets, no NASCAR. Shane's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. George, what's happening? David, good morning. Cooter's in the house. Good morning. Today's title is kind of inspired by George, partly inspired by George and Dan and Herman, and I'll tell you why. David, what's up? Good morning. Cooter, good morning. Art Green, what's happening? Good morning to you. John says marigolds, keep those bunnies out of the garden. Steve Ains Comedy in the house. Good morning. Steve, yeah, the other day, I don't know if it was yesterday or Monday, we were naming our Mount Rushmore of comedians. I didn't do my homework and I didn't finish my Mount Rushmore. Since you have comedy in your name, who would be on your comedian Mount Rushmore? Mine starts with George Carlin and Richard Pryor. And I'm thinking stand up, not like comedians that did stand up and then were more like Tim Allen did stand up, but like we don't know Tim Allen as, I don't consider him a comedian. Like he's a comedy guy. He's an actor. Like Tim Allen, I don't consider a comedian. Who else? Steve Martin. And I know he's he's probably more known for stand-up than Tim Allen, but like I still consider Steve Martin more of a actor than I do as a stand-up. Like stand-up, I think of George Carlin, Richard Pryor, who are some of the guys that are out now. But my Mount Rushmore of comedians, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, and I don't know who the other ones would be. I'd have to let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. I don't have a topic today. Best stand-up comics. Rolling Stone from 2017. I think this is good. Rolling Stone 50 best stand-up comics of all time. And we won't go through the entire list. All right, number 50, and I'm going to say there's no way in hell she's touching my Mount Rushmore. Wanda Sykes. I actually did see her routine live, and I was not impressed. Aziz Ansari, Margaret Cho. Let's just go down. Let's go to the top. Those are the bottom. Number 1 on my Mount Rushmore, Rolling Stone, number 1 stand-up comedian, Richard Pryor. He's on my Mount Rushmore. Number 2, the only other comedian on my Mount Rushmore, George Carlin. I've got 2 spots. Number 3, and I'm not familiar with this stand-up, Lenny Bruce. I'm not familiar with his, so I can't. Let's see. Number 4, Louis C.K. Doesn't really do it for me. Number 5, Chris Rock. Not putting him on my Mount Rushmore. Joan Rivers. Not putting on my Mount Rushmore. Jerry Seinfeld. Seinfeld's probably going on my Mount Rushmore. Seinfeld, he's one of those, well, there might be some better comedians. He's my number 3, Jerry Seinfeld. This is number 8 on Rolling Stone's top 50 best stand-up comics of all time. Bill Cosby. He was pretty good. If you go back to his early stuff, he's not going on my Mount Rushmore. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's funny. He's probably, I'm not putting Dave Chappelle on my Mount Rushmore, but he's definitely on a short list of honorable mentions. Number 10, Mort Sahl. Don't know who he is. 1960s. Steve Martin does make it number 11. He is one of my favorite actors, so maybe if I can't find anybody else, he goes. Robin Williams. I think some people mentioned him the other day. Bill Hicks. Andy Kaufman. Stephen Wright. I think somebody mentioned Stephen Wright. Billy Connolly, not familiar. Bill Burr. I'm not a big fan of him. Kevin Hart, number 18. Number 19, Albert Brooks. We'll wrap it up at 20. Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg was pretty funny. So I've filled out 3 of 4, and I still can't get that 4th comedian. So I've got George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Jerry Seinfeld, my stand-up comedian, Mount Rushmore. Mikey, good morning. Mikey absolutely killed it on Bowman Blasters yesterday in sales on eBay, just selling chrome and paper. Yeah, man, they're flying. They are flying. Mikey hit the George Lombard Jr. auto and was it Walker Jenkins? He killed it. He showed his hits in the Hobby Evolution Facebook page. If you're not in there, join it. Go to Facebook and just type in Hobby Evolution and we'll get you added. We're going to do a better job screening so we don't have any more Todd McClowns coming in. By the way, I think he was in the chat every once in a while here on Hobby Evolution because I know now he had sent me, he was trying to sell his collection. I noticed the signs. He said bro like 3 times in one paragraph. I'm like, oh, that's a red flag. He kept wanting me to call him. I got to sell this collection. It's like he was like Joan. It's like he was off caffeine and I need more. I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. I don't want to buy your shitty collection. So Todd McClown scammed one of our pieces. Probably tried multiple times in our group. He was booted and unfortunately sent some shitty stuff to one of our members in the Facebook group. And he's a piece of shit. Todd McClown. Stay away from his name is Todd McCown. TODD MCCOWN. He's in California. He's a scammer. Stay away. He's a fucking idiot. Herman's in the house. Good morning. Todd's here. What's up? He has palate envy. Philly Joe. Good morning. Spam Likely. What's happening? Thank you, you handsome devil, you. Mikey says, I think the 7 or more cards with 30% off helped drive additional Bowman sales. I definitely noticed that, especially if it's if you have a higher dollar card in your store. So what I notice is, in fact, I mentioned I think I've sold all of the factory sets that I picked up in that purchase from a couple weeks ago, and I had a buyer purchase the one was $250, one was $150. And then bought like 5 99-cent cards. And I'm like, oh, I see what you did there, but that's what it's there for. And my I think I better check to see if I have a limit on that deal. Usually when I do the 50% off coupons, it's max of 100. I've got to make sure I do a max of 100 on the 25%. James wants to know what I got for the auto. The Brock Wilken Greengrass auto last night sold for $292 and it was paid for. That's my concern running auctions at release. Is it going to get paid? The buyer of the auto also purchased the refractor and he paid for both. What's interesting is in this, so anything over I think it's 250 goes through authentication, but sometimes eBay will put it in the same transaction, and if a needs authentication card is sold with a non-authenticated card, you just ship it to the buyer. It doesn't go through authentication. In this case, it actually broke up the transaction. So I send the auto goes to authentication, the refractor just goes straight to the buyer. So, and I've had this happen both. I've had it go both ways. I've had that happen, and then I've also had where somebody's bought, 7 cards and one needs to go to authentication. But since the other 6, it's just you ship them all to the buyer. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Mikey says, hit a Walker Jenkins and George Lombard auto that are both going to PSA this morning to double my money. There you go. James says, Kyle Teal, Aiden Miller, George Lombard, Arjun Namala. Steve Scher, what's going on? Big dub last night. Walk-off win. Michael Bush. I wish I could come across a pallet just once at my Goodwill. Hey, I'm pretty sure your Goodwill facility in Phoenix has pallets. You have to go to the website, shopgoodwill.com. I think Minnesota has one at auction right now, or maybe it's just to buy it now. But I do know Phoenix is a location that has pallets. Let's see. Oh, not there. Oh, there's some standard catalog of baseball cards up for auction. The 1990 version and the 1995 version, but $30 and $25 plus shipping, I assume. There's a lot of garbage. Box of unsorted cards, and they're just in a box. Ugh. So you got to be careful. Oh, huge lot of sports cards. Oh, so this is a buy now. So this is in Minnesota. It is so Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. There is a pallet for sale. Shopgoodwill.com, $850. It's a local pickup. Or if you want to pay for a truck, you have to line up transportation. Let's see if there's any. I've seen Phoenix pallets in the past. You just got to go to shopgoodwill.com. Doesn't look like there's any. Oh, there might be. So there you go. Johnny Boy Cards, what's going on? Set cards in the house. 2024 Bowman sales are on fire. Ripped my 10 blasters yesterday, listed almost all yesterday, and already hit the cost in gross sales in less than 24 hours. I love that. Oh, man, do I love that. Bowman's probably the best. If you get it before release, at release, it's the best flip of any product of the year. Now, in 6 months, it's one of the worst. And I'm talking blasters. Hobby is more of a gamble. That's what I have coming today. Blasters, you're gonna make your money back on the inserts, on the chromes, on the paper. Hobby, you've got to rely on the autos. And you could pull. I pulled the Anthony Scroll or Anthony Skull auto. It's probably a $10 to $20 auto. I think I've got it listed for $40. I think the best offer I've received so far is $10. So, I mean, for $10, I'm going to keep it. I'll just sit on it. But I'd probably take 20 at this point. So you buy a hobby box, you get one auto, and it's a $20 auto of a $260 box. Not good. Michael Renicky, what's up? Good morning. Herman's in the house. Remember when we were all waiting on Bo's coffee maker? Oh, those were the days. Zach and Porter in the house. What's happening? Johnny M, good morning. Told my doctor I drink 6 cups of coffee a day. Told me to cut down to 3. I better not tell him about the ice cream. Zach and Porter says, do you have to drink mushroom coffee on the toilet, as it sounds like it immediately makes an exit upon entering? That actually, I know you're probably partly joking. It sounds funny, but man, mushrooms, you eat but I learned that the hard one time. I made like this. I just went pretty heavy on mushrooms, and boy, did I feel it. Man, mushrooms go right through your system. But no, it did not. It did not act like a diuretic. I was not shitting my brains out yesterday after drinking mushroom coffee, which that was in the back of my mind. Like, if I drink this mushroom coffee, am I going to be pooping all day? But no, it did not have that effect on me. Brian says, same company probably makes mushroom cocoa and mushroom tea, just different packaging, same fungus. Probably. It's the company that I got it from is called Rise. Let's see if they have. I ordered mine through, they have really shitty reviews as a company as far as customer service. So yes, they do make hot cocoa. Yep. Looks like they make hot cocoa, tea. So yeah, it's just the same mushrooms, just in a different variety. I ordered mine on Amazon, my mushroom coffee. Johnny M says, my wife had a commercial coffee maker. I use K-Cups. George says, from the sounds of those benefits and anti-aging properties, you better be careful drinking 2 tablespoons. You're going to wake up tomorrow back in mother's womb. Oh, hey, the anti-aging. Yeah. Mark, good morning. Not a big coffee guy. It makes me nauseous. As a card-carrying member of the Hallmark Channel Christmas Movie Club, my choice is hot chocolate. See, I can do hot chocolate for 1 month a year. Maybe a month and a half. It starts in like after Thanksgiving. Basically between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's my hot coffee or hot chocolate month. Like the first snowfall, like November's a little too early. Like it's got to be cold. It's got to be like snowy. It's got to look like a Hallmark Christmas movie outside my house before I like to drink hot chocolate. Spam Likely says, my hubs gets up and cracks a bush latte. James, double your money if the cards gem can't guess grades. Brian, good morning. Crack a bush and fly the dub. Mikey says, they look perfect to me and I looked them over. Zach says, Dunkin' is the best coffee. Orlando also agrees. Dunkin'. Mikey doesn't agree. Hates Dunkin'. There's nothing good there. Even the donuts are awful. I disagree with that. I'm not a donut guy, though. I'm not a big donut. Now, if there's a donut in front of me, it's like, do you want a donut? I'm like, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take a donut. But I'm not Homer Simpson when it comes to donuts. I'm just not a big donut guy. In all the times that I go to Dunkin', I rarely get a donut. I get a breakfast sandwich and a coffee. So that's what now. Shit, what am I going to do on Saturday morning? Because my routine. But I think what I'll do, I'll drink, because I'm not completely cutting out everything. I think it's bad when you say I'm never eating fast food again. Like, because there's going to come a time where you're going to eat fast food. Then all of a sudden, so I'm not completely taking coffee out of my life. I don't want to say that, but I do need to cut down. So I'm going to drink my mushroom coffee this week. Saturday, I'm going to go to the indoor sports center down in Loves Park, and I'll get a breakfast sandwich and a coffee at Dunkin'. I'm not going to completely go on a Tom Brady TB12 diet for the rest of my life, but I do need to adjust, and I don't need to be going to drive-throughs 3-4 times a week or eating frozen pizzas twice a week, drinking beer 4 nights a week. I just cut that back. So I will go to Dunkin', but I won't order it. And I rarely do. Sometimes when I do, I'll get the Boston cream. It's good. It's not great. It's not bad. It's good. Hits the spot, but I'm not a big donut guy. Zach says, outside Wisconsin, mini bars also don't have Miller Lite. We are brainwashed here to thinking it is a big deal. Miller Lite's my least favorite of the light beers. Like, if I had a choice, and it actually kind of depends. Like, I drink either Bud Light or Coors Light, never Miller. If I'm back in, like, I don't see Busch Light is not. I mean, if you go to like World of Beer or Total Wine, where it's like a Walmart Supercenter filled with alcohol, those places have Busch Light. But if I run down to, actually, I think the gas station down the street. So maybe I just don't look. I'm not looking for it. So it's like, oh, I don't know if we have it. But yeah, Miller Lite's like at the bottom. I would drink Busch Light before Miller Lite. Mark says, my Mets will be doing the cha-cha, a season-long win 1, lose 2, lose 2, win 3. I'm locked in on the Knicks. Very fun to watch. George says, doctors be damned. I ate a vegan dinner and drinking a vegetarian MGD. Shane says, that's the good and the bad thing about working at a casino. Free coffee all day. I'll be drinking that till 3 p.m. That's I went when I worked in college athletics, we played in it was the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. It was a tournament in Evansville, Indiana. And I think the funniest, the strangest part of all this is they put us up in this like Courtyard Marriott type place. Hilton Garden Inn. It was a Hilton Garden Inn. So they put us up in this small Hilton Garden Inn. And I was with Western Illinois and Evansville, Yale, and who was the fourth team that was in that tournament? There was a fourth team. It's kind of like a round robin deal. We played at the hockey arena in Evansville, the Ford Center, I think is what it's called. Anyway, they put us at the Hilton Garden Inn with Yale, and they had like our meeting rooms next to each other. It's like, what are you doing? Like, our coaches were pissed. Anyway, one of the best parts of it, we played Yale, but not at the Ford Center in Edmonds. We played Yale, Western Illinois versus Yale in men's basketball in this community college somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. Oakland County Community College. Who's familiar with Indiana? I don't even know where it was at. It wasn't even that close to Evansville. It was like a half an hour or hour away. Let me just see. Was it Oakland County Community College? That's in Michigan, I think. What the hell was it? Indiana Community College. I don't even know what it's called. I'm looking. I'm Googling it, but it was this small gym. It's Western Illinois versus Yale. There was like 7 people in attendance. But anyway, coffee. So we're at this Hilton Garden Inn, and we're there for, I don't know, 4 days because we played 3 games. And they had the best coffee in the lobby all the time. And it was like they had like flavored coffee, and it was like French vanilla coffee and hazelnut, and it was really fucking good. And me and another person in the travel party, we drank the shit out of this free Hilton Garden Inn coffee. Now, he had an underlying health issue and went into like, is it AFib or something? He drank so much coffee. We drank so much coffee. It had a bigger effect on him. And he ended up having to get he had to, I think, missed a game and some serious heart issues. And I think that probably led to like all the coffee we drank. I probably have a photo somewhere because our hotel room, we roomed together. Our hotel room was nothing but like these coffee cups everywhere. Because for 4 days We just drank coffee the entire, and like after a game, if we'd play a night game, we would work into the early morning hours. I'd be cutting up, I recorded all the games and then would cut up the audio and do highlight montages. And so we'd be working in the hotel lobby till sometimes 3 a.m, and we'd be drinking coffee just to power us through. And then we'd wake up, have to go to shoot around or whatever, drink more coffee to wake up. And it was just all day. And that's probably why I have high blood pressure. Where are we at? Red Light says, hit that like button. Zach and Porter says, mushroom coffee sounds like vaping for coffee drinkers. Assume it's better until we find out it's worse. Mikey says, I want you to live a long time, friend, so rein in the different drinks. Yes. Red Light says, be a manly man. Drink some water. Yeah, be a manly man. Joe J, what's up? Can you promote all your listings in a couple clicks, and what % is recommended? Yes, absolutely. And that's what I do. I don't have a recommendation. I will tell you what I do. I do dynamic up to 12%. That may be too much for some sellers. Some do 5%, whatever you're comfortable with. I wouldn't recommend, what I will say is the higher percent, the more impressions, the more eyeballs see your listings. And you don't pay until you make a sale. Like, you can promote at 20%, but if you don't make any sales, you're not paying anything. You're getting a lot of eyeballs, but you're not paying anything until they sell. So just whatever works for you. If you're listing stuff below comps and you're selling okay, you could do the minimum. So I think it's just kind of up to you. What are you comfortable? Just take into consideration your 30-cent transaction fee, your 12.5% final value fee. Post it, just take into account all the costs that are associated with it and whatever you're comfortable with. And I think you just go into just your regular promotions and yeah, it's just do store wide, I think is what it is, store wide. There you go. Instead of me fumbling around, Mikey says it. Go to the marketing tab, hit advertising dashboard, then hit edit campaign, hit add in top left and click all the different cards and hit apply. And then I think there's also a button for store wide where you can just do them all. Shane's going to start eating at my house. A lot of Hot Pockets, man. A lot of Hot Pockets for frozen pizza. But we're going to turn the page on that. Red Light 34 says, sounds nasty. Mark says, broil your fish. It's the healthiest. Add some salmon and cod, very high in essential fatty acids, which keeps your blood pressure down. We do salmon Sundays. Love me some salmon. Brian's in the house. What's going on? Carter Hobby says, broiled ahi with lemon, butter, onion, and parsley. Ooh, that does sound good. Brian says, jealous of the sorting and digging you get to do when you buy a pallet. It's one time after one time, it's like, you wouldn't be jealous. In fact, it's work. So I bought a pallet, another Goodwill pallet. This is like my 18th Goodwill pallet. One issue is I don't have any space. So, second issue is I have a card show this weekend. So I've got to bring all of this shit out. I'm ripping and flipping Bowman today. I'm buried in shipping. And then tomorrow I got to pick this damn pallet up, get everything. It's a lot of work. It sounds fun, but it's like, the timing kind of sucks on this. Like, next week would have been better. So it's not all rainbows and unicorns buying Goodwill pallets. But if you've never done it, I can understand. And it's like, well, if you don't have time, why don't you just pass it up? Because I'm not passing it up. You never know what I might miss. Dog, what's up? How often do your eBay standard envelopes not get scanned? I've been having problems with them not being scanned. I have no idea because I don't look. There's no need to look unless somebody says, hey, I didn't get my item. I don't even look, so I have no idea. I'm averaging roughly 8 non-received claims per month out of 2,000 to 3,000 ESE shipments per month. And I'd say maybe one a month that are like postage due. I had a couple last month. Sometimes there's maybe 2 or 3, but sometimes there's 0. I'd say between 1 and 2 postage due. Maybe 8 non-received. Let's. I always do this. Let's just go to Can I do April? We're into April. Let's see. Go to. Let's see. Where's the? I can never find where I need to go. Selling tools. Oh, returns and replacements. Okay. Let's see. Don't have any open. Let's see. Closed. So how about this? Last 90 days, I've had 3. Oh, wait. Those are those are returns. I had 3 returns in the last 90 days. 2 of them were ordered by the old classic ordered by mistake. Let's see. Closed. Returns and replacements. Requests and disputes is what I need. Okay. Open. No, we need closed. Last 30 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've had 6. I'd say the average is probably around 8. 6 is a little low, but sometimes there's 11. Sometimes there's 8. So I'd say around 8 per month. And that's out of 3,000. Brian Wolf says, is Eddie Murphy a comedian? So based on my standards, now we're back. I'm how far behind it? I'm like a half an hour behind in the chat. So we'll go back to the comedian talk. So I'll elaborate on so Tim Allen was the example I used. I don't consider Tim Allen a stand-up. I don't consider Tim Allen a comedian because he's more of a actor than a stand-up. Like, how often do you see Tim Allen stand-up routines when you're on Pluto or wherever? Pluto and Tubi have great stand-up routines. Eddie Murphy, like one of his most known pieces of comedy is not Beverly Hills Cop, is not The Golden Child, which is a very underrated movie, by the way. His like stand-up routine from like 1984, like Eddie Murphy has like that may be one of the greatest stand-up routines. Like it's definitely on a short list. I can't, whatever the name is. So I consider Eddie Murphy, in my definition, he's kind of like that tweener. But since he does have such an iconic stand-up routine, I do consider him. Tim Allen, no. Steve Martin's another tweener. Like he's got some routines out there. Not as big or famous as Eddie Murphy, but Unicorn Cupcake says nobody even mentioned Mr. Cosby yesterday. He had some great specials. Yes, Bill Cosby. Not on my Mount Rushmore, but maybe on the short list. Robin Williams says Team Kansas. Card Hobbyist says George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Mitch Hedberg, and Robin Williams are my favorites. Johnny M says Red Fox, Don Rickles, Eddie Murphy. Card Hobbyist agrees. Red Fox was hilarious. Mark's Mount Rushmore, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Don Rickles. Don Rickles was funny. Unicorn Cupcake, and this is one I was surprised not to see in the top 20. Rodney Dangerfield. I'd put him on my short list. He's not making my Mount Rushmore, but he might make my personal top 10. Rodney Dangerfield. I'll put some respect on his name. Shane Koopman says Dave Chappelle is easily Mount Rushmore. He would be on my short list. My short list is getting longer though. Lenny Bruce, old comedian from the 50s. Myself, I like Red Fox from the old guys. Brian says Lenny Bruce was Carlin before Carlin. He acted involved in obscenities and speaking out against the Catholic Church. Oh, okay. He was taboo in the 50s and 60s. Oh, I might have to find some of his stuff. Sounds like something I would laugh at. Oh, Andrew the Dice Man. Andrew Dice Clay. Gallagher. I loved Gallagher. Because I was a kid, Gallagher specials would be on HBO. We went from having like HBO and Showtime in like the early 80s to like living the rest of my childhood without even cable. Like, how could you do that to a kid? I was like 4 when we moved, and my dad's like, nope, no more cable TV. And but we had Showtime and HBO, and then to 4 channels with bunny ears. Like, what the fuck? Come on, Dad. But I remember watching Gallagher as like a 4-year-old. And I liked it because he would smash. I loved the smashing of watermelons. I thought that was funny. Hall of Fame card collector says, my Mount Rushmore of comedians is the Impractical Jokers. That dude says Dangerfield was the comedy club. Rodney should have made the top 20 easily. Yeah, I am surprised that he was not on Rolling Stone's top 20. Let's see. Where was he ranked? Rolling Stone top stand-up comedians. All right. Here's the site. Rolling Stone. This is from 2017. Let's see where some of these I've never. Reggie Watts, I've never heard. He was number 46. Freddie Prinze, the father of Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't think I've ever seen any of his stuff. Amy Schumer made 43 on Rolling Stone's list. That's surprising to me. I would not consider her top 50. Sam Kinison. That's a name that I don't think has been mentioned. Love me some Sam Kinison. All right, we're at 33. Still no Dangerfield. And he's not in the top 20. Sarah Silverman, 31. Woody Allen, number 30. Red Fox comes in at number 27. Is Rodney Dangerfield going to be on this list? He was not in the top 20. I am at 27. Still no Rodney Dangerfield. He better be. There he is, 26. Rodney Dangerfield, 26. He's not getting any respect. Eddie Murphy, number 25. Eddie Izzard, not familiar. Don Rickles made it at number 23. Jonathan Winters, 22. Bob Newhart, 21. All right. Mikey says, hopefully someone doesn't use that coupon on your Triple H ticket. Let's see. What I'm trying to think. If I have the $100 max, actually 25% off, I would take. That's probably the lowest I would go on that ticket. So 25% off, I would do. I've got it listed for $1,000. And if somebody offered me $750, I would take $750, but I would probably not go any lower than $750. It's just, it's more of that's a museum piece for me. It's, I was there. I don't care to sell it. I had somebody message me because I think I've got like, it auto rejects offers like under 500, I think. And I had somebody that apparently put a bunch of offers in, and they finally messaged me and they're like, this condition sucks. And they're like shitting all over the ticket, but want to buy it. And they're like, and then trying to give me the spiel on how into tickets they are. And well, in the ticket condition is really blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, go find another fucking Triple H debut ticket. I dare you. And he's like, I could do 150. And I'm like, no, that's a non-starter. Like, we're not even in the same universe here because it's basically not for sale. And I was nice. And I said, why? I'm like, this is just, it's personal to me. I was there. I'm not really looking to sell, but if the right price came along, and you're way off. Mr. Archer, good morning. Card Hobbyist says, agreed, Dunkin' Coffee is pretty good. Their donuts, not so much. Tracy, good morning. Muted, but watching. Hope all have a great day. Thank you, sir. George says, you just reminded me that I have some random free thing from Dunkin' and a coffee. Hey, how about that? Tracy's still waiting for the blaster boxes of Bowman to ship from Fanatics. Ugh. That's a bummer. I'm glad I almost ordered from Fanatics. I'm glad I ordered from Walmart. Andy says, I took some mushroom-based pills that were supposed to help with focus. The only thing it helped me focus on was making it to the bathroom immediately. Fortunately, I didn't have that issue with the coffee. George just looked, free coffee and donut holes, or munchkins, as they call them. I will say what I dislike the most about Dunkin' is their appetizers. They're like munchkins, donut holes. Their hash brown, it's like $1.50 for an order of hash browns. You get like 5 little hash brown coins. It's like, what the hell? You can buy like 7 full-size potatoes for $1.50. You're charging this. Tracy says, terrible loss last night for the Royals. Mikey says, I don't know where that is, and I live in Indiana. I'm probably way off on colleges in Indiana. If I Google colleges in Indiana, it's outside of Evansville. I don't know how far are you from Evansville. It's 'cause I think it's like it was a good drive. It was like a half an hour from Evansville. Hell, by now it's probably changed names. Who knows? Because this was 12 years ago? Oakland City University. That's what it was. It was not a community college. Oakland City University is a private university affiliated with the General Baptist Church. It's located in Oakland City, Indiana. So let's see where Oakland City, Indiana is. How about that? Western Illinois University versus Yale in Oakland City University. It's the second largest city in Gibson County. How about that? Oakland City. So it's a good drive. It's on I-69, just off I-69. It's probably an hour north of Evansville. Yeah, so it's way down there, southern Indiana. So there you go. A little geography lesson for you. Mikey says sorting a pallet is probably non-glamorous. There's not much glamour in a pallet of junky baseball cards. Shane's in the house. Your pallet competition must have tapped out already. This is the second one in a row. I did have competition. Hopefully his were shitty, and he's like, I'm not buying these anymore. However, I was really fast on the draw with this one, much faster than previously, just by happenstance. Delirious. Delirious was the Sgt. Pepper's of comedy. Was that Eddie Murphy? Delirious. Listed a 90-card Scottie Pippen lot. No dupes for $55 with shipping. Free shipping. I'm listening to offers. Will be interesting to see how much it will go for. Shane's in here. Shane's probably familiar with the market on Scottie Pippen. He's a big lot guy. What would the market be on Scottie Pippen lots? 90 cards. I'm going to say 35. My guess is $35 to $40 on a 90-card Scottie Pippen lot with no dupes. 35 to 40 with free shipping is my guess. Bing Scott, Steve Martin, and Martin Short on the list. I don't think they were. I don't think either of those guys were on that Rolling Stone list. Makes it a shitty list. Dangerfield is not very funny to me, says Andy. He was just edgy before most comics were. Same with Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah. Dangerfield was. Did I put him on my short? I don't know if he should be on my short list. But you're right. Tracy, love your GSH girl. Mikey says, I'm waiting for my Bowman blasters from Fanatics as well. Spam says, I-69 is my personal fave. Brian says, all this talk about comics and no mention of the GOAT, Triumph, the insult comic dog. Tracy says to Spam, likely, she is our baby, goes everywhere with us. Definitely glad we have a big yard for her to run in. That's what Spam Likely was talking about. The puppy dog. Eddie Murphy equals delirious. Johnny M says, I find it interesting that I've never had an Armalope envelope or eBay 3-pocket mailer get returned or not delivered. I probably shouldn't have said that. I do find that surprising that you've never had an Armalope not get returned, but could be all a numbers game. Shane says 50 count Pippin lots for $21.99. So there you go. So yeah, so I think 35 to 40 is kind of right in that wheelhouse. So that's what I had for today. I'm going to go make myself some mushroom. Oh, I said that today's talk was evolving in the hobby. So last night I was doing some shipping and I'm like, I need something to listen to. And I really miss, where's Herman 3B Collection? He used to do a Monday Night Live show. And I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed George and Dan, Korean Cardboard, and Just George. I can't remember George's old name. But George and Dan. And they would do like on like a Saturday night, so it was like Sunday morning for them, I think. They would do a live stream. And I miss those days. I'm like, I wish I could watch those. So what did I do? Made lemonade out of lemons. And I went to Herman's channel and I watched his very first video introducing himself. Very cool. So, and I couldn't find, maybe did Herman create a new channel for his live stream, or if he took him down, I can't remember, but so I missed that. Evolving in the hobby. And it just got me thinking, like, we all evolve, whether it's creating content, doing YouTube videos, just collecting in general. We all evolve. Some of us take breaks. And I got to thinking last night, like, I never would have thought, like, I've never been in the hobby, involved in the hobby this long in my life. And I would say, and there's different like stages of my involvement. Like, I got back into collecting in 2012 after taking some breaks. But like early on in childhood, like I didn't collect cards all through childhood. Like, I started collecting when I was 6, 7 years old. By the time I was 11 or 12, 13, I stopped collecting. Started again when I was like 16, quit when I was 17, started again briefly when I was like 20, 21, took several years off, came back in 2012. But I wasn't like, I don't even know if there were like social media. I mean, social media was around, but I don't know if there was like hobby Twitter in 2012 or hobby Facebook. There was Facebook, because I remember that's where I like, because back in the day, like in the mid 2000, like early 2000s, like 2004, 5, I was involved in like the Beckett forums, and I would post on the Beckett forums a lot. And then when I came back in 2012, Facebook was where I was at, and then eventually Blowout forums maybe around that same time, and then 2014. So 2012 to 2014, it was very casual. And then I evolved in 2014 and I bought a couple small collections, was posting more. 2015, more and more. By the end, by the end of 2015, I bought my first case of Topps Heritage Miners. Started ripping and flipping in 2016 and 17, selling on sport lots and of course on eBay as well. And then late 2017, started the 1 Million Cubs project. And then, was always selling in the background just as a side hustle. And then COVID hit, and then I took the next step and really scaled up and then went into it full time. So it's interesting how we all evolve within our own hobbies. We take breaks, we pivot, quit, whatever it may be. But I found that interesting. So little ride down memory lane last night. So I've got a lot of shipping to do today. Bowman. My hobby boxes, are they on a truck? Please. FedEx, what I like about FedEx is they are in my neighborhood earlier than UPS. Doesn't say out for delivery. It does say delivery date today, but the latest update just says at the destination facility. Get on a truck. So hopefully it's delivered today. Check out my eBay store for more Bowman. Picking up the pallet tomorrow. Hopefully my hobby boxes come today so I can rip and get those listed later. Buy 7 or more at regular price, save 25% off at checkout. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We'll do this all again tomorrow. It's Thursday. We'll do a free-for-all Friday. Programming note, no Hobby Evolution Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, I'll be down in Loves Park at the Premier Card Show's Indoor Sports Center show. I think they've got 200 tables for the show this Saturday. So I'll be there with dollar boxes and quarter boxes on Saturday, and then heading back to Anawan and celebrating Mom on Mother's Day. And then so we'll resume on Monday morning here on Hobby Evolution. So like, subscribe, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.